were once rivals on racetracks. Now, they're in a new war, one fought not just with speed, but with silence, software, and sustainability. The Lamborghini Revuelto and the McLaren Artura aren't just fast. They're what happens when two historic brands push the edge of hybrid technology. And yet, despite their massive horsepower numbers, one of them hides a secret flaw that could break its legacy forever. Let's start with the numbers. The Lamborghini Revuelto is not just another flashy supercar with scissor doors. It's the first series production hybrid V12 from Lamborghini, and that alone is historic. Under the hood, or rather, behind the driver, you'll find a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 engine paired with 3 electric motors. Yes, 3. The total output? A brain-melting 1,001 horsepower. That's right, Lamborghini finally broke the 1,000 Heesh barrier in a street-legal production car in just 2.5 seconds, with a top speed of over 217 mach-frep. The torque vectoring and all-wheel drive system are so advanced that it can pull off drifting with surgical precision. And yet, it can also creep silently through your neighborhood using pure electric mode. The future is here, and it's wrapped in carbon fiber and flame. Now flip over to the McLaren Artura. At first glance, it seems like a lower-tier player in this hypercar conversation. It costs around $240,000, less than half the price of the $600 K-Plus Revuelto. But don't let that fool you. The Artura is McLaren's most important car in a decade, a clean sheet design that introduces the brand's new V6 hybrid architecture. The engine? A 3-liter twin-turbo V6, paired with an electric motor and a 7.4 cube battery. Combined output, 671 horsepower and 531 lv-ft of torque. On paper, that might sound underwhelming next to the Lambo. But here's the twist. The Artura weighs significantly less. Thanks to McLaren's carbon fiber monocell 2-tub and smaller powertrain, it tips the scales at just 3,300 pounds, a full 500 pounds lighter than the Revuelto. That gives it a 0-60 mph time of 2.6 seconds, just a tick behind the Lamborghini, despite having over 300 fewer horsepower. And now we hit the philosophical split. Lamborghini has always been about outrageous power, big noises, and wild designs. The Revuelto is no different. It looks like a spaceship from a sci-fi movie. Yaw-shaped DRLs, aggressive fins, and an aerodynamic profile designed in wind tunnel warfare. Inside, it's surprisingly digital. 3 screens dominate the cockpit, with a central infotainment system, a customizable dash, and even a passenger display, so your co-pilot can watch your speed rise in terror. The Revuelto is also the first Lamborghini to use an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission mounted transversely, a layout that leaves room for the battery tunnel. The engineering here is incredible. Each of the front wheels is powered by its own electric motor, giving the car true torque vectoring. This isn't just all-wheel drive, it's intelligent, predictive corner domination. But here's where things get spicy. The Artura, despite being less flashy, is arguably smarter. The hybrid system in the Artura is simpler, lighter, and more elegant. The electric motor sits inside the transmission bell housing, integrated with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. And while the battery is smaller, it still gives the Artura up to 11 miles of electric-only range. Not a lot, but more than enough for sneaking in and out of the garage like a ninja. Then there's the handling. Review after review says the Artura drives like a scalpel. It might not have the drama of a V12, but it responds with laser precision, giving experienced drivers a thrill that's hard to match. The Artura also marks a big leap in McLaren's quality control, something they've been criticized for in the past. The cabin is cleaner, the infotainment system is finally usable, and the seats are snug, yet comfortable. Now let's talk problems. Because no car is perfect, the Revuelto, for all its might, is massive. It's wide, heavy, and can feel like overkill on anything other than the Autobahn or an airstrip. It's also extremely expensive, not just to buy, but to maintain. Hybrid systems in cars this powerful are still new territory for Lamborghini, and while the engineering is strong, long-term reliability is still a question mark. Meanwhile, the Artura has had a rocky start. Early production was delayed due to software bugs in the vehicle's electrical architecture. Some owners reported glitches in the driver display and connectivity. McLaren has rolled out over-the-air updates, but for a car in this price range, even small bugs can cause reputational damage. Let's also talk about sound, because this is where things get emotional. The Revuelto's naturally aspirated V12 screams to 9,500 RPM, delivering a raw, primal soundtrack that no turbo or electric car can match. It's a dying breed, the last of its kind. The Artura, by contrast, sounds decent. The V6 note is sharp and high-pitched, but it lacks the soul of its V8 predecessor, the 720. As if sound is your obsession, Lamborghini still holds the crown. So, what does all this mean for the future of hybrid supercars? It's clear we're seeing two very different visions. The Revuelto is loud, proud, and unconcerned with restraint. It uses electrification to amplify the madness, not replace it. The Artura, meanwhile, is McLaren's calculated first step into a world where lightweight, quiet, and intelligent cars will dominate. One is extroverted luxury chaos, the other is minimalist surgical performance. But here's the kicker. If you take these two cars to a real-world road, stoplights, winding back roads, highway traffic, the performance gap shrinks. Sure, the Revuelto is faster in a straight line, but the Artura is more nimble, easier to live with, and delivers 90% of the thrill at 40% of the cost. It's not just about speed anymore, it's about how the car makes you feel. And if you're thinking resale value, Lamborghini has history on its side. Limited-run V12 models tend to appreciate over time, especially as we move toward full EVs. The Artura is a mass-produced McLaren and might not hold value as well, but it also won't cost $30K every time you service the gearbox. So which one wins? It depends who you are. If you want the ultimate poster car, the thing that makes jaws drop and hearts race, it's the Lamborghini Revuelto, no question. It's a unicorn, a V12 hybrid hypercar that combines electric torque with old-school thunder. But if you're the kind of person who geeks out over weight balance, suspension dynamics, and real-world usability, the Artura is a silent assassin that punches way above its weight, and maybe, just maybe, that's more impressive. Now, here's your hook to take action. If you thought this battle was intense, wait until you see what Ferrari and Porsche are cooking up next. Subscribe now so you don't miss our next episode, where we reveal a hybrid hypercar that could change the game forever. Hit that like button if you'd take the Artura for a spin, or drop a comment if you think Lamborghini still owns the crown. And if you made it this far, you're exactly the kind of person we built this channel for. The future of fast is here, and it's electrified.